Hey guys, Drifter here. Today's video is a personal commentary about having a home instead of a house because those are two totally different things and they should not overlap. Home is where the heart is and your house is not necessarily your home. The gameplay that you're seeing is on Twilight Gap here in Destiny. I'm playing free-for-all against other YouTubers, pro gamers, Bungie staff, that sort of stuff. So you'll see the random dev accounts popping up. It's going to be a very close game because I'm playing good people. I think I get off to a really good spree in the beginning and then it gets a little bit rougher later on. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but it is a very good game. Twilight Gap is one of the better maps in Destiny, I think. I don't think it's a very pretty map. I'll insult it before I compliment it. Twilight Gap is probably the ugliest map in this entire game. It's basically a big, boring warehouse, and there's some big mounted machine guns on the other side you'll see later on. They're really more like anti-aircraft guns, and they're kind of cool, but they really don't live up to the rest of the cool stuff that Destiny has going on. I mean, like, every map is like some sort of epic space planetscape or something, and this one's a warehouse, so it doesn't look very good, but it does play very, very well. Something about this map plays very well. It feels like a nice sort of tight competitive map. It kind of reminds me of Lockout from Halo 2 for some reason. Not in aesthetics, but just the niceness of how it played. I was really impressed by how it played, not at all impressed by how it looked. I wish it would look a little bit prettier, but beggars can't be choosers. You'll also see a little bit of different gameplay. I'm very, very shotgun heavy in this one, not quite as fusion rifle heavy. There's a lot of tight corridors here and corners that I have to go around, so I'm not as up on charging up the fusion rifle and trying to get my timing. It's much more about just shotgunning people in their faces and going in for melee attacks. Kind of like how that guy did for me. Also putting away the hand cannon for now. We're going to be back to the auto rifles. But what I wanted to talk about today is my home and not my house. I have never had a home in my entire life, and I mean that. I don't know how many of you, I'm not saying that I was homeless or that I lived on the streets, because that's not what I'm getting at, but I've never lived anywhere very long. I moved every year and a half, every 6 months. Hell, sometimes I would get to a place and I'd be there a couple of weeks and then I would pack up and move. I changed schools during my primary education, grades I guess 1 through 12, so many times I can't even remember all the schools that I've been to or all the people that I've met. I was always the new kid. I will be clear, I did stay in Mississippi for a little while, but I never considered it to be my home. I stayed in Mississippi kind of on and off. I did a pretty big spree there during high school, but I knew that it wasn't home. I knew that no matter how nice my family was in that place, how much they wanted me to live there, no matter what kind of job I got or how much I did or didn't fit in, that it just wasn't the right place for me. That was not my home, that was just where I was staying now. But getting back on topic, houses changed all the time, living situations, states, temperatures, climates, parents changed. Sometimes I would stay with non-parents, with relatives. Sometimes I stayed with strangers. Moved around a lot. So I'm a guy that's really used to change, and it was very different when I moved into this house right here, because my wife was telling me, okay, this is going to be home. We're going to make this home and we're going to stay here forever. And forever staying somewhere was like a really scary concept to me. Like, it never occurred to me that we weren't just going to stay here for a year and then move again. Like, she was serious about staying here for a long, long time. And that's something that legitimately scared me, just because it was so new and so alien to think that I would actually live in one place, or that, I could get stuck there. Being stuck was a big thing. When you're a nomad, you do worry about getting stuck. But it ended up turning out pretty good. I mean, and not only just the place, but it was really nice to actually get into a place and make some friends, some lasting friends, and not just like, we're buds for now, we hang out for a little while, I'll see you on the flip side sort of deal. And speaking of friends, I'm going to give a shout out to Accepted Tmac 92. He's an Afghanistan vet, Purple Heart, and really cool guy. I'm just trying to describe him on the fly here, but he streams every day on Twitch, so I'm doing a giveaway just for him. Anybody that follows his Twitch stream is entered into a raffle to win these headsets. These are Turtle Beach X11s. They're hanging out with Ozzy right now, but he's got the email notifications on, and his Twitch stream is the first one down there in the description. So all you have to do is click that link, sign into Twitch, and hit follow, and you'll automatically be entered to win. I'll send a Twitch private message to the winner and handle all the shipping and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, it's really different to actually meet people and connect with them and not think, okay, well, I don't really need to bother investing any time into this person, or I don't really care because I'll be gone pretty soon. It's more like I actually get to know somebody, which is very, very different. But beyond just that, actually being able to choose your own place to live was a very different experience for me. And for many of you, when you do get this luxury, it'll be a very different experience for you. Where I lived was always chosen for me. as a kid, I obviously had no input on the houses. It was whatever the parents liked, whatever they decided was best, that's where I lived. When things went bad, wherever I moved, it was moved by whoever would take me, wherever it was convenient, wherever we could go to get away from the law, anything like that. So that's where I lived. Like I said, at Mississippi, like I lived there for a while, but I knew that wasn't the place for me. Like I had no intentions that I was staying there for a long time. Getting to college is more like, well, you get a couple of choices of dorms, or there's a couple of really slummy kind of houses you can choose from, like 2 or 3, because you've got no money and you're a student and you have to deal with it. I did find nice places. Like I actually lived in a really nice place with my wife in college. I just got lucky that the only place available was a nice place. And we took a lot of things just because it was convenient, not ever really planning to stay there. But for the first time in my life, I actually had options when I looked at where I was going to live. I had tons and tons of places that were convenient, tons of places that were affordable, and I was able to narrow them down and pick a house that I thought was nice, a place that I thought would be good to live, a place that I could actually get awesome internet. That was a big part. Like I searched for houses based on their internet quality. I got Verizon Fios here. I got 75 down and 35 up, which is awesome. It's not satellite internet. It's not take Comcast and deal with it or whatever you can get. It was a big deal for me. And on top of that, I also got the luxury of sort of decorating and furnishing my house as I saw fit, because again, it was either, as a kid, you take whatever it is that your parents say that you're going to get. Like if they decide they would rather have HBO and that this newfangled dangled internet thing is not worth having, well, that's just too bad for you. No internet and you get HBO. But wait, you're 12, you're not allowed to watch HBO. Freaking deal with it. Or whatever furniture they thought was best, whatever setting on the air conditioning, any of these sort of things. And also, it's the same kind of way when you're in college or when you're really broke or you have limited options. It's a lot of the furniture in my old houses was stuff that I literally picked up off the streets and loaded into my truck and cleaned off and managed to save. I was living in like reclaimed furniture or dirt cheap furniture or Big Lots furniture or the cheapest I could get kind of furniture. I mean, I'm not saying it's a terrible thing. It's not a boo-hoo, my life is poor. I mean, almost everybody does that in college. But I actually got to like choose things that I liked here. How radical that was. I got to pick something that was comfortable. I get to pick something that I enjoyed. And on top of that, I actually get to pick a neighborhood with all the things I like. Picked a lot of Korean food. Really like Korean food. Don't know why I like Korean food. Just kind of do. So it was nice that I lived in a neighborhood with a buttload of it. But it hit me the other day, not the other day, it was like a week or two ago when I was in Europe, that I actually had a place to go back to. They asked me where I was from, where I was home, and I would say, oh, Texas. You know, it's me and my wife, we moved into this house, we live here, and I haven't actually been talking about her a whole lot. It's been a very selfish commentary, but these are all things that we decided on together, a place that we both decided to live. Very similar situation for her. I think this is probably the first place that she had these same experiences with, taking something that was nice instead of something that was convenient. People would ask me where I'm from, and for the longest time my answer would be something like, I'm from nowhere, I just live somewhere right now. Oh, that's a hard question. And I just started answering Texas because it was easier, and it was true. I guess I'm kind of from Texas, sort of. I've lived here on and off for a long time. I plan to go back. I'm not really going anywhere very soon. And it was just a very different sort of feeling. I've been able to kind of actually make a home here, just me and Jessica and the dog, and not just a place to stay. It's not just where I'm crashing for now. It's not I'm planning to move next week or anything. It's like I actually feel like I belong somewhere, which is really different for me. It's also kind of, it's a very childish thing, also kind of scary in a way. Like I've never felt that before. I never knew what, if anybody else had a home, that's what that was like. So that's a very new experience for me. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just something I wanted to talk about, something I had on my mind. I didn't have any sort of grandiose plans for this commentary, but I hope you've overall enjoyed the gameplay. I hope it's been fun to watch. It was very shotgun heavy and auto rifle heavy, a little bit of Blade Dancer. I still love the Blade Dancer for PvP, don't get me wrong. Blade Dancer is the best. Big fan of the hunters. The standard hunter with, I think it's the solar, the golden gun. No, the gunslinger, that's what it is. That's a very powerful one too. That rewards people that are very twitchy, that are very accurate. You get your insta kills almost always. However, you only get 3 shots unless you kill somebody with a throwing knife or you overpenetrate or you do something really crazy. But what I really liked about the Blade Dancer is that I leveled up very quickly, and I was able to turn on the perk or the ability or whatever to where as I kill more people, I recharge my Blade Dancer. So every time I get a kill, it recharges, so I can really kind of string it out and get really long oh my god, that guy just shreked me, and get really long sprees. And one other thing I wanted to mention is that when you're in that ultimate form, you take less damage. So as the Blade Dancer, I don't get nuked. I can also kind of use it to fly and zip out of trouble. I've actually used my ultimate ability to escape trouble a few times, but definitely liking that. Not sure how much longer I'm going to play Destiny. Maybe forever, maybe not. Maybe it'll get bored. We'll find out, but I'll keep on posting it while it's fun. That's all for this commentary. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.
You've shown your might, Guardian. Well fought.